huge amount of big companies. I'm not saying anything from this fact, but we know like they're owned by Jewish CEOs. The Israeli propaganda was in our media. There's a whole thing they were saying that Hamas came in and was like raping and beheading newborn babies. Turned out the whole story was a hoax.
How many people do you think down there are actually students?
10%.
Probably 10%.
Protests at Columbia University over the crisis in the Middle East.
It's from the river to the sea!
What's the old trope about the media and the Jews and the Zionists? I mean, what do you guys, is that what you're kind of saying?
More of just like
That goes into it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true though, right? I mean, don't they control like a shitload of the media and stuff?
And that's the big reason why people have to cover up their faces too, because we're all UCLA students, and in general, if you go to a school like this, you're going to get a good job at a big company. But a huge amount of big companies, I'm not saying anything from this fact, but we know like they're owned by Jewish CEOs. So people are saying like, oh, they're covering their faces because they know that they're in the wrong and blah blah blah. And they're covering their faces because like in the future when they want to get a job and their CEO does a little Google search and sees that they was
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep. No. You brought up another really good point too. What did you say about the those fake pictures or whatever that came out?
Yeah, that too. See, the Hamas isn't. I mean, maybe they are spreading propaganda, but Israeli propaganda was in our media. Do you remember that? Did you see those headlines too?
What was it? Which headlines?
There's a whole thing they were saying that Hamas came in and was like raping and beheading newborn babies in an orphanage. The IDF was reporting on it, and then even Biden. There was an adjacent story. I don't remember exactly what it was, but Biden gave a press conference and he was talking about how he's seen images of these things happening and they're harrowing, and he never thought he would before. Turned out the whole story was a hoax. White House covered up for him, saying like, oh, he misspoke. He was talking about something else. But no, there's straight headlines like the IDF said that Hamas is committing these terrible atrocities.
How many people do you think down there are actually students?
10%.
Probably 10%. Yeah.
How does it make you guys feel like as students? Like you guys are paying tuition here, right?
I can't even access my library. It's kind of, I had midterms. The best thing is that it got pushed back to Monday. Well, that's probably the best thing to come from this.
Sure.
But other than that, no, I'm with the camp where it's like it's a federally funded campus. Everyone's tax dollars, tuition, like, you are entitled to these facilities.
Right.
They're not just like privileges.
Right.
You're entitled to them.
Yeah.
So this right here, it's impeding on your entitlement, my entitlement.
Protests at Columbia University over the crisis in